everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the magnificent General Targg. He's got 2 G's in his name, and I don't know how to pronounce it because I haven't seen the film yet, so we shall find out in due course. But we are going to be painting this one as part of the War of the Rohirrim Battle of Edoras box that Games Workshop have very kindly sent me early to build up and paint with all of you, and that is exactly what we are doing. So without further ado, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting Targg. And well, he's been primed in Grace here, and we're mostly going to be focusing here on the one on horse, but if anything comes up on the one on foot that is individual, we shall of course pick that out. So the colour we're going to be using first is Skeleton Horde, and we're going to be applying this over the top of 5 areas. Firstly, we're going to apply this over the top of the horse's muzzle, or nuzzle, never known exactly what it's called, but the horse's nose basically. And we're also going to apply this, having just made a mistake on the front of the horse, so I'm just going to wash the brush, get rid of the water, and then just mop that up straight away so it doesn't remain forever. There we go. So now that that's fixed, we're then going to take the Skeleton Horde and we're going to apply this over the top of the horse's socks, and we're just going to apply this over the top of all of the hairs, kind of going up to around about the knee, just there, like so. And then we're going to do that across all 4 of the horse's legs. Just whilst we're waiting for all that to fully dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion and we're going to apply this over the top of the horse's tail, the horse's mane, the hooves, and the bit of horse armour, head armour, on the horse. I said horse a lot, and yet I'm not horse. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a roughly 4 parts Ratling Grime to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. I'm going to be using this over the top of the rest of the horse. So we're just going to come in here and we're going to start applying this like so along the leg. Now what we're going to do when we get to the socks is we're going to bring it down to around about the ankle, sort of around about there. We want to make sure we get it over the entirety of the leg. Then we're going to wash the brush, get rid of the water, then we're just going to blend it in like that sort of thing. And we're not only going to do this once over the top of the horse, but we're going to do it twice. Do 2 layers of this mix. And the reason we've got the Lahmian Medium in there is to improve the flow, to make this a little bit easier to work with so it doesn't kind of get away from us and get too spotty and dark. But another thing we're going to do here is we're also going to apply this over the top of General Targg's tunic. So all of this bit here. And we're going to similarly do it twice. And of course all the way up his chest as well. So we'll be right back in just a minute. So with those 2 layers of Ratling Grime and Lahmian Medium mix applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to go over the top of it with a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Lahmian Medium and Black Templar. I'm going to do exactly the same thing that we've done on the legs in terms of the blending, and we're also going to apply this over the top of where we've done it on Targg himself. So with that all done, we're now going to once again use some Black Legion. I'm going to use this to pick out all of the kind of horse's leathers, such as that bit there. I'm going to apply this over the top of the saddle, like that. We've got the rest of the saddle to do, but we're also going to apply this over the top of the rest of General Targg's kind of shirt. So we've got this kind of armored bit here, and it's 2 segments, and the middle one is not going to be black. So I'm going to skip over that and go for that bit there, like that sort of thing. And then what we're also going to do with the Black Legion is going to apply this over the top of the inside and the outside of the cloak. And in the spirit of other returning colours, we're going to once again use some Ratling Grime. And we're going to apply this over the top of Targg's trousers and his braces on his arms. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Wyldwood and we're going to apply this over the top of all of his straps and leather and stuff. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Asurmen Blue and we're going to apply this over the top of this kind of long wrap here. Like so. And of course, don't forget it comes all the way around. Like that. I'm going to apply it over the other one as well, next to it. However, what we're also going to do is we're going to apply this on our foot version here. We're going to apply it over this little bit of the tunic. With that all done, we're then going to take some Fyreslayer Flesh and we're going to apply this over top of all of Targg's skin. So with that all done, we're then going to take some skeleton horde. I'm going to apply this to the segment of the tunic that we didn't apply Black Legion over. Like that. And with that all done, we're then going to take some Agrax Earthshade. And we're going to apply this over the top of the boots and the wrap or the grip of the sword. And so with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. And we're going to apply this over the top of the sword blade and the bit in the horse's mouth. And there's the odd little buckle here and there, which we can also apply this over as well. And so with that all done, we're then going to take a small amount of some thinned down Retributor Armour. I'm going to use this over the top of these two little rings on the chest. Here and there. Like so. So with that all done, it's now time to add some shades to the model, and the first of these is going to be some Nuln Oil, and we're going to apply this over top of, well, all of this white fur on the horse and on the cloak, and we're going to apply it over the top of his hair as well. So you're just going to get that all over like so, and then there's a little bit of extra white as well on the horse's face armour to bear in mind, but we're also going to apply this over the top of the silver, and we're going to use this over the top of the Black Legion areas. So this is going to be the horse's tail and mane, the armour here on the head, and over the top of Targg's cloak. Going to get that all over like so, and we've got the reins and things like that as well. Quite a lot of Nuln Oil. And with all of that Nuln Oil applied, we're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade, and we don't need very much of this at all. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use this to shade Targg's skin. Now normally at this point you'd be thinking, oh, you're going to do the gold as well? Nope, we don't need to. It's just two little rings. So it doesn't make sense to do any shading over it. We can just leave it as it is. So with that all done, General Targg is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and he's looking pretty cool. However, we're not going to leave it there. Of course not. We're going to take it to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding one layer and a couple of highlights. So we're going to start with that layer, and the layer is going to be some thinned down Skavenblight Dinge. And we're going to use this over the top of the horse's muscles. And we're just basically using this to kind of smooth out the horse's flesh So it's not going to look like it's making a whole world of difference, but it is just going to elevate the horse just a little bit more than what we currently have, which already looks pretty good. But we are just going to apply this, as I said, over the top of all the horse's muscles, the darker ones at least. We don't need to go near the blending areas really. So with all that Skavenblight Dinge now applied, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Stormvermin Fur. I'm going to use this to highlight the horse. Like that sort of thing. But what we're also going to do with the Stormvermin Fur is we're going to use this to highlight Targg's tunic that we did in the same colours as the horse. So with that Stormvermin Fur all applied, what we're now going to do is going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our Black Legion areas. So this is going to include the tail, the mane, the cape, the leather details on the horse, So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Pallid Witch Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight all the white. With all that Pallid Witch Flesh applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Ushabti Bone. I'm going to use this to highlight the horse's nuzzle and the socks. So with that Ushabti Bone all applied, we actually applied a little dot of it in the corner of the horse's eyes as well. So bear that in mind. But what we're going to do next is we're going to take some thinned down Fenrisian Grey and we're going to use this to highlight the blue. Next up, we're going to take some thinned down Karak Stone. I'm going to use this to highlight the trousers and the bracers. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight Targg's face. With that Flayed One Flesh all applied, we're then going to take a small amount of Black Legion. I'm going to apply this over the top of Targg's eyes. So with that all done, we're now going to finish Targg off by taking some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. So with his base now complete, of course in the traditional style of Sterling Mud with a dry brush of Tyrant Skull and some Gamer's Grass tufts, General Targg is now finished. And well, I get to see the film today, so I'll let you know how it goes, I'm sure, on one of my live streams, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I really enjoyed painting this one. I think he looks absolutely spectacular, don't you? If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.